Fantastic 66? 65.
Hey guys, Roy here from Your Golf Travel. It's Open Championship week. It's finally here. It's been a 2-year wait for this amazing event to come back to us golf fans and for the players too. So we thought it was high time we caught up with our Chief Holiday Officer, Lee Westwood. So we're going to chat to Lee not only about the Open Championship this week, but also his performance at the Scottish Open last week, some of the links courses that he has played at both events, links golf in general, all that kind of good Open Championship vibe stuff. So yeah, let's jump on the call with Lee.
Right, hi Lee, welcome back to the channel.
Hi Rory.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Firstly, congratulations on your opening round at the Renaissance Club today at the Scottish Open. Fantastic 66? 65.
You're not the first person to get that wrong. Everybody thinks it's par 72 when there's actually 5 par 3s.
All right, fantastic. Well, yeah, obviously well played. Tell us about what you did well today and what kind of got you to that score. Probably the usual stuff that you do well. So
yeah, I did everything well. Drove it well. Shots were good. Putted well. I mean, the illustration of the round was the longest par putt I held was, I guess, just under 2 feet. So yeah. You know, I had a lot of greens in regulation. Rolled it up close, no stress. Made a few long ones, hit the par 5s into a couple of times. Yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, so you like you say, low stress. You know, it's just like when I play golf.
Yeah. I didn't take any divots off the tee with the driver.
Oh! This is a brand new tee. There are no divots on this tee except for that one.
Oh, right.
World's first.
Right, so obviously, like I said, you're at the Scottish Open, leading up to the Open Championship next week. And I want to go back a little bit in time and talk about what's kind of happened on the European Tour in the last, I want to say 5, 6, 7 years. And starting with the Irish Open. Obviously, it's now kind of par for the course, excuse the pun, to go Irish Open, Scottish Open, and then the Open. And I guess that's a really good kind of build up for you guys to the main event. What do you think in terms of the European Tour's move to actually do those events back to back to back? What's that been like for you?
Well, I think it's good. I think obviously with the Open Championship, with the third one of those, people they like coming over and playing a bit of links golf. They like coming over and getting used to the time change for starters. I think the Irish Open maybe suffered a little bit with not being on a links course this year. Mm-hmm. Although Mount Juliet is excellent, and being so close after the US Open as well. It's a busy part of the calendar, and players are kind of looking for where they can take a break. And I think the Irish Open just fell on one of those weeks where it was an obvious break. But the exception of a few Irish players that obviously played the Irish Open. But then the Scottish Open this week is obviously the week before the Open, and on a links golf course, and you can just see what kind of field they've attracted. It's I think the strongest ever, possibly. So
yeah, so you talk about Irish Open history, and it's quite interesting to me as a golf spectator. Obviously, a completely different world to you. Obviously, the Irish Open historically was like quite a premier event, and then it went through some hard times where it struggled to attract sponsors, and then obviously Rory got involved. And I would say, from a spectator point of view, now it's like one of the best events on the European Tour calendar. What would be your favorite Irish Open golf course that you've played? Obviously, you say Mount Juliet's fantastic. I've not played it, but it's nice to have that run of links golf when it is on links course. So
yeah,
what would be your favorite?
I'm a big fan of Portmarnock. I thought that was I think that's a spectacular golf course. They did hold it around Portrush a few years ago. Royal Portrush is amazing. The Open Championship was there a couple of years ago, and it's my favourite links course in Britain now. Yeah, but they always tend to play good golf courses. They played down at Ballybunion, I think, years ago. So there's so many good links golf courses in Ireland. You know, it's County Down was played. I'm not a massive fan of County Down, but I like it. But I think it is a little bit overrated. But it is a good. It's still a good, very good golf course. It's just a few too many blind shots for me. But you know, they do always pick great venues.
Yeah, that's kind of leads me on to another question. I've heard that about County Down. I've not played it either, but the blind shots seems to be what people who don't think it's the best course in the world, and there are plenty of people who do think that. They always talk about the blind shots. But what would be your best golf course never to have hosted the Open?
Oh. I think fortunately they play most of the best links golf courses in the British Isles, so it's too short probably now. But I guess Hillside would be right up there as one. That's kind of the best place I can come up with. I suppose Turnberry, now it's been redesigned. The new design's not hosted the Open Championship.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I always got the felt when I've played it, obviously, and you have as well, pre and post changes. It was obviously a special place. The Ailsa course was last time it hosted the Open, but in my opinion, it always, that little iconic corner, it didn't realize its full potential until they made the changes in 2015, I think it was. Have you played it since the changes?
I haven't played it since the changes, but apparently it's now spectacular. So I played it obviously in the Open Championship in 2008, but now it's supposed to be incredible.
Yeah, it is. So we'll have to get you back up there on a YGT holiday at some point soon. So when it comes to links golf, obviously, so you're basically saying potentially you would prefer it if, obviously, the Irish Open has lots of amazing parkland courses on the rota in the last few years, but would you prefer it if it was links leading up to the Open?
I think every now and again it's nice to play on one of the great parkland courses. You know, there's so many. You know, Mount Juliet, the K Club, Druids Glen, Fota Island, places like that. But I think they should have like 3 every 4 years have a links golf course, and then the other year go parkland.
Yeah, that's nice. Does your bag setup change for links golf, and does your approach in terms of practice and the way you're going to play the game change when it comes to that little run of links golf in comparison to what you usually have week on, week out?
Yeah, normally I carry 4 wedges, and the longest iron in the bag's a 4 iron. But this week and probably next week, I'll only carry 3 wedges. I will carry a 3 iron. Sometimes a 2 iron. This week I haven't got the 2 iron in because there's not been a lot of wind so far. So I've been carrying a hybrid, but I didn't need that or a 2 iron today. So I could have carried 4 wedges.
Yeah, I did see on your social that you were hitting balls with a 2 iron on the range at Close House recently. But
yeah, I had it in yesterday for the Pro-Am, but then I decided, looked at the weather forecast. I mean, there's hardly a breath of wind out there, so there's not many shots where you need to really hit that driller. If need be, I've got the 3 iron for that. So I thought I would carry a hybrid just in case I have to hit one in high, or if I'm in the rough and, you know, I can chase the hybrid out the rough.
So that's obviously like your top and bottom end of your bag is where it changes depending on weather conditions, I guess. Yeah,
generally 4 iron to 9 iron always stay the same. I always carry a driver, always a 3 wood, always a putter, but hybrid, 2 iron, 3 iron, gap wedge, sand wedge, sometimes becomes wedge, sand wedge, and the middle wedge comes out and the 3 iron goes in, or 2 iron.
Nice. So obviously you're playing at Renaissance this week, and we've spoken about this in the past. You're obviously a fan of the venue. Do you have a favourite Scottish Open venue that you've played in the last few years or historically?
I enjoy it when they play Gullen, just down the road. I think that's a nice links golf course. Trying to think where else they played it. Obviously, like here, Carnoustie in the early days. We played the Scottish Open. I think that was like 94, 95. That was great. That's one of my favourite links golf courses. So those, they're all great venues.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you're not.
Lot Lomond.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got Loch Lomond for, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was about 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, you're not exactly going to turn up to a Scottish Open and have a bad golf course such as the riches they have up there. But moving on to the Open, obviously next week, it's been obviously a 2-year wait for golf fans and players like yourself to have the Open. What's it going to be like going back to that? Is it going to be extra special for you, or is it just going to be another Open Championship?
No, the Open Championship's always special, and having not played with crowds for a while, especially on the European Tour, to hear that 35,000 are going to be allowed in, it'll be even more special, won't it? It'll be a great atmosphere, great celebration of getting back to people watching competitive golf.
Yeah, and so what are your thoughts on Royal St George's? Is that, I mean, I've played it once, and I've heard various opinions on it. I thought it was great, obviously, but
it wouldn't be on a list of my favourites. But I think it's all right. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good golf course. There's a few undulating fairways where if you land in them, in the middle of them, it's very hard to keep it on them. So, not a massive fan of that. But yeah, I mean, from what I can remember of it, it is a good test.
Yeah, and like you say, I think when I've spoken to in the past, all of the courses that you've spoken about being your favourite Open or Links courses are always the fairest ones. And you mentioned there that sometimes you can hit a drive down the middle and not hold the fairway, which I think a lot of people who might not play a lot of links golf might not understand. But which would be, in that case, which would be your favourite 3 Open Championship golf courses?
Portrush, Birkdale, and then the last one would be a toss-up between Muirfield or Turnberry, I guess.
Right, so yeah.
Although, if I got 5, it would be Muirfield, Turnberry, and Carnoustie.
Right, there you go then. So mostly up in Scotland, but yeah, like I said, we'll have to get you back to Turnberry so you can see the changes around that lighthouse. Yeah. Would you say the Open Championship is your favourite major, or do you not have a preference?
I think that and the Masters are probably tied at the top. I like the Masters because I love Augusta. If I had to play a golf course over and over again, it would be Augusta. But obviously, I like the Open Championship because it's held in Britain, and the home fans are there, and probably the tournament I grew up watching the most. And it's everybody wants to win the Claret Jug. What
do you think of the new major schedule? Do you like the fact that the Open is going to be your last major of the year, or did you prefer it the other way around, where it was kind of Masters kicks everything off, you got the Opens in the middle, and then the PGA at the end? But
I don't think it really matters, but I do like the fact that they play one, massive tournament every month from sort of March onwards. Players in March, and then Masters in April, PGA in May, US Open June, and then Open Championship in July, and there was Cup after that, and the rest of the European Tour season. So I think it works pretty well at the moment.
Obviously, like I said, Open next week. You got the Ryder Cup in September. We'll talk about that another time. What's on the schedule for you post Open?
2 weeks off, and then a World Golf Championship in Memphis. Then another week off, and then the FedEx Cup event. So Liberty National in New York, then Caves Valley, I think it is, in Maryland. And then hopefully the Tour Championship in Atlanta, if we get that far. PGA Championship at Wentworth, and hopefully the Ryder Cup. So big run of golf coming.
Yeah, busy. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, everyone at Your Golf Travel has their fingers crossed for you. And finally, just to finish, so if you had, let's say, 2-3 nights, whether it's a golf tour, moving around, or whether it's on a resort, where would you recommend people play their golf this summer if they were going to spend their holiday time where they would usually go abroad, but they're going to do it in the UK this time?
I quite like it down near Saunton.
Lovely. I was just half an hour down the road from where I am now.
Is it? So I would say generally you would pick sort of the northwest of England, so Birkdale, Hillside,
Formby,
Southport, Ainsdale, Hesketh, West Lancs, places like that. You could base a good golf trip around there, or do this part of the world, or a little bit further up from where I am. You could do Gullen, Renaissance, Archerfield, Muirfield if you could get on it. A lot of nice little courses around here, or go across the water to Fife and play St Andrews and Carnoustie and Kingsbarns and all those. I'll go the other side, do Turnberry. I suppose you could throw in a trip to Glen Eagles on the way across there, or Lot Lomond. Yep. And that other golf course where they held the Scottish Open a couple of years ago, where Rafa Cabrera won. Dundonald, that's the one. And then you can head over towards sort of Glasgow Gales, Western Gales, Troon, Turnberry, that area.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
For a few weeks. Keep you busy for a few weeks.
Lovely. Well, yeah, like you say, there's you've just rattled off about 20 courses. So obviously for the people watching, there's
that's not to mention going and playing, where I come from in the Midlands. You can play Worksop, Lindrick, Hollingwell, Sherwood Forest, Little Aston, Woodall Spa.
I was at the Belfry the other day.
And do the Belfry as well, yeah. Listen to you name dropping.
Yeah, I even played okay, believe it or not.
Do you? Did you leave the first tee in the?
Yeah, there were no driver divots. I even made the odd par. It was
wow.
It was stupendous.
You've been playing a lot of golf.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, like I said, well played today. Hopefully you'll keep it up going into tomorrow, and obviously then the weekend. Everyone at Your Golf Travel has their fingers crossed for you, and best of luck next week. Enjoy Kent, enjoy Royal St George's, and I will speak to you soon.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
All right, mate.
Thanks very much.